The third malware sample that we will analyze with PeStudio is Keylogger. We load the malware into PeStudio to analyze it, extracting the hash value into virus total. This malware is significantly flagged as malicious. 65 of 74 security vendors have flagged it. It is a Trojan, a dropper, and a worm, and it is from the family MSIL, Bladabindi, and Crypt. A Trojan disguises as legitimate software to trick users to install. Dropper carrier to drop payload. A worm is self-replicating without need for host file or human interaction to propagate. Family labels MSIL is heavily obfuscated, and it renames variables, methods, class names, modify control flow, and leverages on .NET framework for file manipulation, network communication, and encryption. Bladabindi is NJ-RAT, which is a remote access Trojan. It takes control and has capabilities such as keylogging, password stealing, webcam spying, screen capturing, downloading, uploading, and executing commands. Common distribution methods are emails, websites, software, and downloads. Crypt, software used to encrypt and obfuscate or pack malware. From the main screen, it is also a 32-bit Windows executable file that runs on graphical user interface, and it uses Microsoft Visual C# to compile the code and in a .NET runtime environment. Indicators for this one, the libraries has been flagged and imports are flagged. Moving down to sections, this file has only two sections, the relocation section and the text section, of which the text section makes up the bulk of the file, which is 99%. Means this file mainly centers on the code. Nothing is flagged suspicious here. Moving on to libraries, there are a few things that we should look at. Firstly, it uses pinvoke as well. Pinvoke, as we have seen in an earlier analysis, is a legitimate process which allows managed.NET code to call unmanaged Windows API functions, and it can be exploited by malware to interact with low-level system resources. And what is flagged here is WinMM.dll, which is used to manage sound and multimedia, so it has got audio capture ability. Although it's not flagged, I think it's good to point out AVCAP 32.dll, and it captures Windows class video recording, webcam capture ability. So the above two shows that it has got a multimedia ability to capture audio and visual. Kernel 32 is flagged as there is a duplicate kernel 32. It provides core functions such as memory management, input-output operations, and interrupt handling. Duplicate may indicate obfuscation technique for confusion and evasion. Moving on to imports flag. The get foreground window, get Windows text is an environment manipulation and with Windows discovery. It is to interact with Windows and spy on active applications. The known MITRE ATT&CK T1010 can steal login information or browser session, and it can conduct reconnaissance and modify behavior based on environment. It's also capable of network connections to connect to command and control and download more malicious payload using PowerShell commands T1086 known MITRE ATT&CK to download payload. Download data, download file, and connect. So this is network capabilities. It is able to perform hooking for input capture and process discovery, such as get async key state, mouse event, block input. This is clearly a key logging activity, and to capture user input such as keystrokes and mouse movements. This is also a non-multi attack 1056. It can perform process discovery and process injection with this process here, get window threads, and allows the malware to gather information on running processes. It can also manipulate system parameters and drivers, such as querying system info, and manipulate hardware components to control webcams and microphones for eavesdropping. Moving on to strings, other than those covered by the import section, many strings are flagged for this malware, and what we can pick up in addition to the above is that it also performs obfuscation using to base64 string from base64 string, which is used for encoding and decoding, which you can see here. Use shell execute is to launch additional programs or commands. Shell tray WND is to interact with system tray and taskbar to hide its presence or add malicious icon and pop-ups. So very clearly this can be used to perform key logging, capture user input, send information to command and control, allow command and control to take over the system and to exfiltrate data. That's the end of my analysis using PeStudio. Thank you for listening.